Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV here in Frederick, Colorado. My name's Taylor, and today we're going to be going over a 2025 Newmar Dutch Star. This is the 4369, so it's the most popular floor plan for the Dutch Star. Again, since this is a 2025, we've had it for a little bit, so we're pretty intrigued to kind of find this motorhome a home. So if you guys are interested, please feel free to call me. My information is below at 970-388-7937. All right, to start with it, we're going to go ahead and take a walk around the outside first, and then we'll end off on the inside. So let's go and get on into it. Alrighty, starting up on the front here, we have our nice rims and tires. These are the 365/70Rs, 22.5s, the XZA Michelins. All right, starting over here too, we have our diesel fuel. This is our first side. You do have a dual side, so you can go ahead and fill up on either side here. It's going to be 150 gallons, and you do have a nice steel superstructure on the inside here. So if you did happen to have a blowout, just know that your fuel tank is nice and protected. As we work our way up here, we have the seamless cut and buff full body paint. This one is actually called the Sea Spray Graphics, so very beautiful, has hints of green and blue, fits what what they called it, that Sea Spray Graphics. And as we keep working our way up here, you can see we have an awning right over our door here for that entry door, and then take a step up above that, we have our Girard full wall awnings, and then we have we have our slide out toppers, and then we do have a nice little window awning above that main awning where our couch and televator TV is. We'll go ahead and work our way into the first storage compartment here. We do have a nice lovely upgrade, which is the Dometic CF, which is on the slide out tray to make it nice and easy to access. It is split into two, so you can set a different temperature on each side if you'd like, or just set it to the exact same. But it's kind of nice having that versatility of making one half a fridge and the other half a freezer if you'd like. One thing Newmar started doing is taking an extra step, and instead of keeping this hollow here, they added a nice little shelf so you can add in some extra storage too if you'd like. And our next storage compartment here, we have another upgrade where we have these manual slide out trays. This is also going to be accessible on either side as well, depending on what campsite you're at, whichever is easiest to get to your luggage. You have the option of sliding it out on either side. Another thing I always love to point out to my customers, if you aren't as familiar with Newmar, is we always go into one of these bays and we kind of can see our Star foundation. That's going to start with for strong, true, and robust. As you can see that we have a steel superstructure that's going to be framed to those side rails, and that's going to help with the flex of the coach as you're going down the road. That's why Newmar is able to put tile on their floor, and they don't have to worry about any cracks or anything happening throughout the life of the coach. All right, up above here, we have our outdoor entertainment system here, our Samsung TV with the Bose surround sound. And then we just have the nice little gauge here. So if you wanted just to use the TV sound, go ahead and flip the switch. You can turn it off, or you can just use that Bose sound bar. And to end off, we do have some charging inside of this cubby as well. All right. Onto our third bay, the same thing here, just a little bit wider of a slide out tray, and this one is accessible on either side as well. All right. And moving on to that fourth bay, up the right-hand corner there, we have our road vac. And then to the left here on this tray, along with other appliances like some extra tile if needed, you have that on hand. But you just have the road vac appliances here, so you have nice little hoses, so you can go ahead and vacuum up your campground rug, or I can show you where it's at on the inside as well. But this is where you would go ahead and dump that vacuum bag out at. All right, nothing too fancy here. We just have some nice little wiring, but it is covered by this nice plastic cover as well, but it's easy. You just have to unscrew it with your hands. You don't need any type of tools to take it off if needed. All right, so this one again is the 4369. 43 means it's 43 foot long. It's actually 43, 11 inches to be exact. So this is going to give you your tag axle. Another thing that's really awesome about the tag axle, not only giving you the stability while you're going down the road, but that's also going to cut that degree, cut your degree cut turning radius to kind of help you maneuver through parking lots, backing up, and all that kind of stuff. All right. Moving on, we have our DEF fill here. This is also a dual fill, so right here you'll just go ahead and fill up right directly into the tank, and then I'll show you where that other fill is on the other side. And directly above that you have a nice little emergency exit. I'll go ahead and reconvene when we go inside, and I'll open this up for you guys. But you do have a nice little stainless steel ladder that will collapse out, so it is multi-use, or you can just go ahead and open it up to kind of store in all of those bathroom storage stuff that you'll need in there. All right, finishing up the passenger side, we just have our chassis batteries here. So you have the 2 batteries and you have your battery disconnect. So if it's ever sitting for a long period of time, we always just recommend that you go ahead and turn that off so you don't have to come back to a dead coach by chance. That's never a good day. All right. Perfect. Now that we're on the rear, we'll go ahead and start from the top. We do have 3 15U BTU Penguin with heat pump ACs on there. It is pre-wired for solar, but we don't have solar up there just yet. But don't worry, here at Transwest, we can add those panels for you as well. But there is one dedicated solar panel to your chassis batteries that is already on there. It's a standard inclusion. And then directly below that, where your Newmar is, you have your nice backup camera. Another upgrade that this coach has is that 360 camera. So I apologize, I haven't been pointing out all the cameras, but just know when I turn on the chassis, later on in this video, I'll go ahead and show you what that 360 camera looks like. Moving down here, you have a nice little, the brake light and another camera here. Moving more, we have our beautiful Dutch Star logo. And then right over here, we have for our chassis. So this is on a Freightliner chassis. It's the 450 horsepower XCR, and it has the Cummins L9 in it. So it's gonna give you about 10,000 pounds of towing capacity. Another thing that's awesome is you don't have to worry about adding in a ping tank for flat towing. So if you wanted to go ahead and get a Blue Ox and set everything up through go ahead and flat tow, we can do that for you as well. The coach is already set up. All you need is your Blue Ox bar and then everything else that you would need for your car. All right, as we work our way over here to the driver's side and finally out of the sun, we just have our side mount radiator. So that's going to help just give you better breathability for that chassis, helps it keep it nice and clean. And then here is that second DEF fill. You just have a nice little cubby here to kind of keep any of your slinkies or your dump hoses. And then moving on over to our wet bay. Everything is nice and stainless steel backsplash to give a dirty bay kind of a cleaner look here. You have your water filter. We don't have the filter in it right now just because I believe it is still winterized, but you do have your hose here for that water supply, and everything's nice and etched in, so it makes it not only clean, but organized. And then we have our stainless steel shower head, so it's not plastic, it's pretty robust. If you drop it, you don't have to worry about it cracking. And it kind of helps during the winter seasons too. You don't have to worry about it getting way too cold. It kind of cold snaps in here, which I like as well. But you have a total of 105 gallons of that fresh water capacity. And then of course a nice little paper towel holder in here too, to kind of, if you do have any accidents, you can go ahead and grab the paper towels. All right, moving on over, we have our 50 amp shore power cord, nice little LED light strip that lights up right when we open that bay. We got our surge guard protector over here, and then we just have a nice little pre-wire if you did want to go ahead and hook up a TV on this side. All right, now on to our Oasis Chinook. So this is the hydronic heating system. This is going to be your hot water as well as your heater. It is a diesel heat, so it's pretty low maintenance. You don't have to worry about a lot of getting smoke or anything like that. Very reliable, and it's been around for a long time. If you do want some extra information on it, I have a great video I can send you, as well as a nice little PDF file on it that gets a little bit more nitty-gritty. Here are just the other sides to those two bays that we were talking about earlier, where you can kind of access them on either side. So just a brief overview of that. And then now to one of our most expensive upgrades on the coach. So this is going to be about just under $30,000 of an upgrade. You have your lithium ion battery pack. So it's going to go ahead and give you 960 amp hours and give you the luxuries of being able to run that AC without having to be plugged in or running your generator. So while you're going down the road, you can seamlessly be you know, getting nice and cool, especially if you're driving to Arizona. And in addition to that battery pack upgrade, you have the second 3,000 watt inverter. All right. Here is that second diesel fuel. Again, 150 gallon tank here. And then we're just gonna go ahead and end off on this one. This little spigot is just for our generator here. And then up above, we just have some spare fuses and a bunch of other wiring and nonsense. But we just have a nice little thing here. You'll just go ahead and pull that, which I will do so we can show you the generator. I'm just hoping it actually unlatched, so we'll see. Perfect. Alrighty, up front here, you can see a nice little light here. So in case in the middle of the night something's going on that you want to check out, you already have a light built in. You don't have to hold your phone and then kind of, you know, dig through everything one-handed. And then we have our nice little generator over here. So this is the Cummins Onan generator. And then we have our hot water line. Sorry, I almost missed it. We have that hot water line, so you can go ahead and plug in a hose and rinse off that big windshield, especially if it gets caked up with a bunch of bugs. And then we have our windshield wiper fluid down below there. All right, go ahead and close this off just so you can get a nice little glimpse of the front cap here. We do have our mobile eye that's already stationed there for you. And then you have another camera at the very top. That's just going to be in addition to all the other cameras for that 360 camera. All right. Now let's go ahead and take our first steps inside the Dutch Star, the 4369. But before we do, a few things I want to show you before we enter are some steps here that have some additional storage. So this is perfect for some shoes, dog leashes, dog treats, anything like that. And then to the left of me, sorry, kind of hard to see here, we have our battery disconnect, and then this will unlock and lock our bays. And then we have the patio light. Last thing I want to show you is also on this chair. So we have the captain's chairs here are heated. You have like a high and a low setting. All right. Perfect. All right, as we take the first steps in here, I have all of the shades down except the one that we opened the door. So I was just gonna go ahead and bring that one down really quick. Whoops. I had it already saved. There we go. So we can kind of block out all that natural light in hopes that you guys can, whoops, really take in all the interior colors so it's not too shiny with that natural light in here. And since I already have this in my hand, this is going to be for all your shades. So they are all electric. You can do just one click of a button and it'll do everything in here. The only thing that is separate is you have your kitchen, the cockpit, and then also the rear bedroom are in sections. So you can do all of them up front here and then the other two. Right now we just have them stationed on our Whirlpool refrigerator, but as you can see, pretty spacious floor plan, having the kitchen and this booth dinette with the chairs. It makes it really open right here, especially with the couch and the theater seats. You don't have to do any sideways shuffle right here with other floor plans like you do. Sorry, I kind of got a little too ahead of myself. I just wanted to make sure I showed you guys this while the slides are closed. So you can reach your refrigerator. It is locked, so you can open that up completely. You don't have to worry about possibly hitting anything. So I like that. And then also why Newmar does this little pocket door. Everyone, when they first open it, it just feels awkward. But the reason why they do that is so it doesn't hit the slide and there's no obstruction, so you can gracefully get into your half bath while you're going down the road. All right, now I'm just gonna go ahead and jump back up front and I'll get these slides open for you guys, and then we'll go ahead and start in the rear. All right, starting with the full wall slide. This is the Stratton decor, and then we have our morel glazed maple wood. Again, we already kind of talked about the central vacuum. We have the 360 camera. Something I forgot to mention too that's on the roof that is another hefty upgrade. It already does have the Starlink, so that's your internet system. And then I let you know about the heated captain's chairs, the lithium batteries, and then of course on that tile we do have heated floors. All right, now we're going to be moving on to that second slide, now that that one's all the way down and sealed up nicely. Alrighty, so this is all tile. That gives you the luxury of being able to have the heated floors, and it kind of has that wood grain look. It's not super shiny, it's more of a flat matte look, so it's not going to be as slick, which I really like as well. And then now that we have this slide open, this is where your central vac is, so you can go ahead and connect your hoses here, but this is where you'd go ahead and flip that up and it would suck it up, all the dust, dirt, anything like that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and open up this last slide here, so a total of 3 slides, and this is going to be a king bed. I did write down the measurements just so I didn't forget or get it mixed up. So it's a 72 by 80 king bed. It does have the rounded corners, so just kind of keep that in mind. Alrighty, beautiful. Let's go ahead and come in here and we'll start with our emergency exit, so I can just kind of show you guys that briefly. What I love, kind of just a little safety feature here, is that it has 2 locks. So you have to make sure it's unlocked here and then also unlocked here, and then you can go ahead and open it. You would think unlocks the other way, but I guess unlocked is in, sorry. That one wasn't labeled. But after you open it up, you can go ahead and just take this off. It's on some magnets, and then as you can see, your little stainless steel ladder there. Just go ahead and put that back on. Lock it up. Perfect. And then you have a nice little window here that you can open to get some nice fresh air, but you do have your fantastic fan up above as well. A few little vented AC in here. And then while we're looking at the ceiling already, as you probably couldn't tell on video, but you have a nice cathedral ceiling, so it's kind of sloped to give you some more headroom, make it feel a little bit more spacious, because this is the master bath, so you can comfortably fit 2 people in here without feeling super claustrophobic. But let's just go ahead and start with the very back. For our closet space, on that right hand side there, you do have a nice safe, and then 2 shelves on that side that are adjustable. And then you have the additional shelves over here. As you can tell, this one's a little deeper, but you have kind of like a step up scenario here, so perfect kind of stage shoes and whatnot. And then you have all the cutouts that are in here, and then your hanging rod goes all the way from side to side, and then you have a nice little shelf on top of here that is carpeted, just the same as in here to kind of help with any rattles. We do have a nice little chain, just because Newmar is very proud of their product, so they don't want you kind of making silly mistakes, damaging the wood cabinetry here, so they add that chain so you're not effortlessly opening it up one day and kind of forgetting. So they kind of stop and resist that from happening. And you'll see little things like that throughout the coach. I just wanted to kind of point one out at least, so those aren't getting overlooked. Here's just another option, so you can go ahead and access the shelves in here as well. And directly below that, you just have your Dometic for the toilet. Perfect. Alrighty, we'll start over here with the sink and then we'll end off with our shower, but you do have a nice medicine cabinet on either side. It does pass through. I'll open this side so it's a little easier for you to see. There we go. And again, another chain there to kind of help protect that mirror. Beautiful backsplash that kind of has a bluish gray white that really adds into that exterior color too, kind of the sea. I don't know, it just makes me think of like a shiny seashell, geez. But you have some nice solid countertops here with nice little sparkles as well. And then you do have more space underneath each sink, and then a total of 3 drawers here. I didn't pull them all out equally, but they do all go out the same length. All soft closed as well. And then again, the floor is going to be the same. Where you see this nice little square here with the 2 little black dots, that's just the access point for the chassis. So if you ever need to bring it in to do any servicing or maintenancing, just know that the techs will be in here kind of opening up that panel to get to what they need to. All right, and then here is our shower. I did write down the size of that as well. So it's a 50 by 34, more rectangular, but you do have that nice little seat there so you can comfortably sit down if needed. And then it is, I know we have a little pamphlet there hanging, but that's a shower miser. They call it the water saving system, just because that blue bubble that is down there, it will glow red to let you know that the water is hot at the temperature that you set it. So just like a typical shower at home, you turn it on and you wait for it to get hot. In this situation, you don't have to. All you have to do is go ahead and set the temperature, and then you have to go ahead and turn that dial to actually turn your water on. But what it does in that Oasis system, it's just going to keep filtering through until it gets to that temperature. It'll highlight red for you, lets you know you're ready to go, and then you can go ahead and instantly start taking a hot shower. Right over here, we have our washer and dryer. Whoops, I didn't want to block you off there, but there we go. So it's the Splendid washer and dryer. And then you have your nice little pocket door here. This is why I shouldn't have nails, because I can't open it now. So I'm sorry, I was going to show you there is a mirror. But we'll just keep moving on for time sakes. All right. So starting over here with our king bed, you do have some nice storage above, and it is all through and through. There's no dividers in there. You do have charging. It is nice and carpeted as well. And then I kind of just like the glass feature on either side to give it some contrast, as well as just the beautiful framework around the bed. And then you have, it's like a nice cushed headboard there. Windows on either side. I believe that do open. Let me just double check. Yes, that do open. So you can go ahead and open up actually all 3 windows in the bedroom, because they do have screens. The one I'll show you next though is an emergency exit. And then of course, just kind of taking a moment to take in all of the extra lighting. Another thing I love that Newmar does as well is just you can go ahead and turn lights on and off that you don't want on, so you can make it very moody in here, not as bright, and kind of just adjust it to your liking. And then you do have nice little countertops on either side that do have charging inside. And as you can see, it has a nice little cutout at the very top, so you can keep that cabinet closed but still siphon through any wires. And then lastly, just wanted to show you, you do have plenty of storage underneath. Sorry, we still have the plastic on that brand new mattress. And then the 2 tables and chairs, sorry, the chairs, and then your leaf, which I'll demonstrate in a few moments of what that is needed for. All right, flipping on over to here, we just got some more storage. You have your Samsung TV, and then this is the that third window that you can't open, but it also duals as an emergency exit. Just gonna open up all the storage for you guys, just really briefly, so you can go ahead and take a look. And then this one is actually for the TV. But plenty of storage. You have 2 latches for each drawer here, so you don't have to worry about those popping open while you're going down the road. They are very secure. And again here, all of them are going to be the soft close. There we go. Beautiful. Just close this one really quick. All right, and then we just have our slide out controller right here. So that's going to be the main slide out controller for this bedroom slide. And then before, I did forget to mention, underneath this bed, you do have a nice little control panel. So you can go ahead and start and stop your generator. You can turn on and off the lights. And I believe you can also turn on your water pump if needed. We have another pocket door here to kind of close that off, and I'm not even gonna try to embarrass myself again. So we'll just keep moving on here to our half bath. Another window. You do have a fantastic fan in there. You do have some counter space, and again, that same backsplash to tie it in from that master bathroom. And then you do have some storage. I was gonna say I would open it, but honestly, I just block it anyway. So I just wanted to let you know that this is a medicine cabinet, just like the one in that master bath. Perfect. Go ahead and close that off. All right, one key ingredient here. This is going to be one of your main control systems. So this is just the home page. It'll show you an overview of everything. So we got our house batteries, our tanks, and then some lights, as well as our TV lift up and down, and then just our pump, top off, all the things that you will be using quite often. And then you can kind of dig deeper into all the panels, power, AGS, floor heat, which is going to be in 3 separate zones. It's not really a high, medium, and low as far as temperature. It's going to be how long it's going to be on. So if you want it on in 30-minute intervals, turning on and off, it'll just kind of naturally get hotter. And then medium, low, but I like how you can kind of separate it into which section you want. Our AC and heating. Right now I do have all 3 ACs on. And then in addition to our controller here, you can go ahead and download the app so you can have some features accessible from your phone. And the last one is some lighting. All right, we'll just go ahead and move on to our kitchen area here, and then we'll flip-flop and I'll show you the other side. I'm just gonna go ahead and we'll again start from the top. We have some nice storage above the sink. We have a fantastic fan as well. It's nice and covered, which is above the sink as well, which is nice for cooking. Adjustable shelves, again, carpeted to kind of help with the rattles or shaking inside. Another cool feature for the microwave here, so it's going to be convection and air fry. That's a new thing for 2025. Honestly, the amount of people I had to come in here and I need to know where I'm gonna store my air fryer was a huge thing. So I was very excited when I found out that Newmar was finally doing this. As far as how good of an air fryer, I haven't got the feedback yet, but at least it's the option is there for you guys. All right, we got our sink. It does look like a farmhouse sink from the outside, but the inside you still have a nice little divider there for the wash and rinse. It's great for boondocking, so if you are planning on having the utmost boondocking adventures, I mean, you're already set up with the water miser and having your sink kind of keep that, saving some water. And then in addition to having those lithium-ion batteries, you'll still be able to run that AC on and off. The only last thing I would probably recommend is getting a few solar panels as well if you're interested in boondocking. But other than that, that's pretty much ready to go. All right, we got our true induction 2, and they are the same size, so you don't have to worry about one being bigger than the other. And then on the other side, you have a nice little cutting board. And we got our drawer with all of our remotes. This is going to be for our awnings here, the 2 for our Bose sound bars, and then the 3 for our TVs. And then we just got some extra paint and some other extra appliances and thanks to Newmar. Another upgrade here, we have a Fisher Fisher dishwasher. You do have to turn it on to go ahead and open that up. Otherwise, it has an automatic lock feature in it, so you don't have to worry about it flying open while you're going down the road. All right, so we got some more, let me find where the button is, storage here. But one feature I always love to show people that don't know about this, if you needed to enhance your kitchen a little bit and give yourself a little bit more space, you can go ahead and just pull this out. But of course, just remember to put it back in before you bring in that slide. All right, and we'll just keep going on this side and finish it up before we hop onto the driver's side again. But I'm gonna open these up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pop up that TV, televator. Perfect. So we got the bows at the very top. We have some extra outlets up here for those receivers and TV, all those necessities. And then more charging over here. Oops, I thought these ones were connected, but they're not. And this does turn into a bed. It's a tri-fold bed. So you go ahead and unfold this out and you put the back down. It comes out to about right here. So I mean, depending on the size, you could possibly fit up to 2 people up there. It might be a little snug, but I mean, at least you have the option of sleeping 2 more people if needed. And then, all right, we'll go ahead and hop over here. So again, we have the nice little theater seats here, very plush, very comfortable. If you've never sat in Newmar furniture, I recommend coming out, and just if you're not that interested in test driving and you're still online shopping, it is kind of nice to come in here and touch and feel. You can really grasp the concept of Newmar's quality when you see it in person. This is just, I'm not sure if I've shown you guys a smaller one yet, so this you'll see sporadically throughout the coach. And it's just like that big one I showed you, just not as crazy. So you could still do your heating and AC, power, floor heat, fans, tank levels, and then also lights and TV lift. But I'll end this section with the storage that it has, including the one in between. Yeah. And then we will end off on that table I was kind of telling you guys about earlier. So I feel like it's kind of a 50-50. You either love the chairs or you don't. I really like this setup of tables and chairs. If I was going to get tables and chairs, this would probably be my selling point, because I love this amount of counter space. And you also have drawers in here, so if you needed to set up a computer or your work on the go or anything like that, you can kind of have this as an office space as well. So you have your charging, and then you can also put a printer down here because you have all that extra storage. And another thing that I really like is this table actually comes out completely. So it's not anchored down by any means. I mean, it's still very secure, but if you wanted to go ahead and just take this table out and kind of store it long ways here to give yourself a little bit more maneuverability, so you can kind of set up all the dinner family style buffet over here, have your table go long ways, and kind of set up the chairs to make it a little bit more spacious so you're not elbowing around or feeling like you're tucked in the corner. You can actually do that for this one. You can see it just splits right here. You open it apart and then you put that leaf there. So I just love the flexibility and the versatility of having this kind of setup, in addition to all the extra storage space you get as well. Maybe I shouldn't fight with it. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and end off. Oh, so sorry. We got the fridge, Whirlpool. I opened that briefly when I was showing you, but I forgot you guys didn't get to look at it. Ice maker. Nice little drawer for the freezer. Outside water system too. And then the pantry. I can't believe I almost forgot the pantry. Look how big this is. With all the drawers, you just go ahead and push it and it automatically locks in. You have 2 of the little latches here too, just in case. So that's nice and secure. You don't got to worry about too much jiggling while you're going down the road. And then honestly, if you really did want to adjust them, it has additional holes there, so you can kind of make them high, low to fit anything that you need in there. Alrighty, sorry for jumping the ball yet again, but let's go ahead and come up here so I can show you guys the other main control panel here. All right, so we have our solar prep up here in the corner. We have this nice little blue button because that's just for our lithium batteries. They do, when they get down to almost 10%, it's gonna just go ahead and shut down and save itself. So all you have to do is hold this button down for about 3 seconds and it will start glowing blue again like it is now, and it will wake those up. So that gives you enough time to go ahead and turn on your generator, start your chassis, or do any of the things that you need to do so you're never stuck and stranded. All right, right over here is just a nice little device list showing for our lithium batteries. We'll give you some notifications as well, and for your inverter. We have our wine guard. This is just a controller here for our awnings. And then we have all of our security lights, block heater, and all that up here, our slide out controllers. And then again, for our entrance door awning lights, and then the off door side awnings for your windows are gonna be all right here. And then to tie off all of the storage, you've officially seen every little nook and cranny inside this coach. If you did need any specific measurements on any of these pantries or anything like that though, I'd be happy to get that for you. So just go ahead and feel free to either text, call, or email. Now we'll just go ahead and end off with our chassis stuff. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it on really quick. I always think that this one is a push start, but it's not. But that's okay. Perfect. Alrighty, while that is lighting up, let's just go ahead and start over here with our HWH computerized leveling system. So that's just our automatic leveling with the push of a button. It'll go ahead and level out the coach for you. We have our heated mirrors and our mirror configurations. This is just going to be for our window, so that does open. Our ATC override, and then our tag dump right over here. House and battery chassis boost, so if your house batteries are dead, you can use the chassis battery to jump, or vice versa. Dome lights and fog lights. This is just a wireless charger. I did set my phone there. And then we have some more lighting here. Our parking brake, some nice AC vents. Now that this is completely lit up, we'll go ahead and not skip over that. All right, so we have our nice little LED glare-free dash. Kind of shows you everything. It does give us a nice little empty distance too, until we need to refuel, so I like that as well. But if you guys are curious, even though it's a new unit, the mileage today is 1,183 miles. If we wanted to go ahead and go into our menus and gauges, you can go ahead and customize your comfort drive. So that's going to help with the resistance of the steering wheel, which does a huge night and day difference versus not having comfort drive and having comfort drive. That really takes off all the fatigue and the stress off of you. You're not gonna have to fight the wind, you're not gonna have to fight the road. It will just automatically adjust that for you. You can also go ahead and turn on things on and off for Mobileye and your road watch. So if you're not really liking all of those safety features, you can go ahead and customize them to your liking as well. You don't kind of have to live with them per se. And then right over here, I believe it's all new for 2025. I'm sorry if I'm a year or two behind or something like that, a year behind, but this is all one screen now. So you don't have to worry about having the split screen. And then you do still have the nice little buttons over here to go ahead and turn them on and off. And then your navigation, that's built in here. You can go ahead and go through. We have our heating and cooling down here, defrosters, and then our shades. So I got our visors and then our shade, dock lights, fans, high, medium, and low for those fans. And then the front fan, same thing, generator, start and stop. We have our entry lock, air horn, courtesy lights, visor, and the 360 camera. But yeah, I was gonna say, that's just for your dimming, power on and off. So they're still separate, but you don't have to worry about that split. And then we have our storage directly below that. Alrighty. Perfect. That's pretty much going to wrap it all up for our 2025 Newmar Dutch Star. Again, the 4369 has a tremendous amount of upgrades. That lithium ion package, it already has Starlink. We got the heated floors. We have the 360 camera. But if you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, or you would like some more details on this unit or any other Newmars, I'd be happy to help you guys out. So you can reach me at the information below. Again, thanks for tuning in and looking forward to chatting with you. Bye-bye.